What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm here to show you another vacuum that just joined my vacuum collection. This is one of those vacuums that originally I had no intentions of buying, but I got such a great deal on it to the point that I just could not pass it up. So, here I present to you an Aerus Lux Guardian 90th Anniversary Edition. This, I originally had no intentions of buying because I already have another Aerus Lux Guardian, but only that one was the all-white model. This one is actually the latest version of the Lux Guardian that you can get. And being the 90th anniversary model, they did do a special two-tone white and black combo, which really looks nice. How I got this is I bought this on OfferUp for surprisingly very cheap. I even got this cheaper than I got the white Guardian, which really amazes me because I now have a much newer version of the Guardian upright at a much cheaper price, which is arguably quite a steal for how much these things are worth brand new. Now, when I got it, all it came with it was the upright as by itself. No attachments or anything like that, which I'm perfectly fine with. I could just use attachments from another Aerus Electrolux upright, and they'll work just fine as it is. But this is already a very nice machine to have. I'm already happy I have this in my collection, and even though I do like the all-white Guardian, this one's definitely have some improvement over that model, besides the different color combination. So let's give a walkthrough. Typical Aerus Electrolux fashion for their uprights. You have a 3-position rocker switch up on top of the handle for brush roll on and off. The first one's just suction only, and the second one down turns on your brush roll. And right up top you have your little connector that you can open up to attach your hose, which, let's go ahead and pull this back down. This has a very tight connection. Honestly, it's much tighter than even my white Guardian or even my Electrolux Epic 3500. And to get access to your bag, there are these two little push tabs that you can push on either side to open up the bag. And this right here is your Electrolux style U bag. This is a generic DVC HEPA bag, which are getting kind of scarce because they're not as easy to find. But these are honestly a true top fill bag design. See how it just fills in completely from the top? And you will notice right over here, this is actually a safety switch that you have to press. And if it's not pressed, and when you try to turn the vacuum on, the vacuum won't turn on. So what this is actually a safety switch that has to be depressed in order for the vacuum to operate, which I do like that they made that kind of dummy proof so no one is tempted to run it with the bag door open. So it has to be shut in order for it to work. Move along down here, you have your Lux Guardian lettering with true HEPA cleaning system. Basically how it works is you have your nice large permanently mounted post-motor HEPA media filter. Also, another thing, there is also a pre-motor filter that sits down in the valley of the bag compartment right here. And that obviously is what catches all the finer particles. Alright, let's go ahead and set that back down in as best we can. let's go ahead and put the bag back in its spot. As we move on down here, you have your Aerus lettering right up here. Interestingly enough, on my other Guardian, which I will link the video to that in the description box, the Aerus logo is actually on the lower part of the base instead of on the hood like this, which is not a major deal. It's just one tiny little detail I do notice is different between the two. And you have your old Lux, the original since 1924, which definitely, this design definitely dates back to the mid 80s, since Electrolux had the Discovery 2, which was the first vacuum of this style, especially the one with the dual motor function. So now let's go ahead and tip this thing on its back, show you the underside. You have right here is your brush roll. It is a chevron style, typical Aerus Electrolux fashion. Funnels everything towards the center suction path so the powerful suction can take it away. Could use a little bit of cleaning. The bristles, which are very long, they nearly protrude out of the base plate if you sit level with it. The bristles are very soft, not the most aggressive, so it is nice to use on some areas of carpet. You don't have to worry about the over aggressiveness of the bristles damaging your carpet. And it definitely grooms fantastic. Definitely works good for picking up pet hair. And I should know because I have a cat, and as usual, having dogs and cats, the hair sheds. And there are certain vacuums that do good at picking up pet hair, and these Aerus Electroluxes definitely do great with that. You have right here your little warning label. Manufactured by Aerus LLC, Dallas, Texas. Interesting. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 8.5 amps. Well, that's the suction motor. The brush roll motor is at least about 1.5 amps, so combined that's about 10 to 11 amps. Move along back here. We have your very long 35-foot power cord. You have your carry handle on the back here for transport. And you also have a little electrical connector on the back for a special hose connection that you can basically hook up, and it gives your hose electrified for a special feature, which I will demonstrate later in the video. And as of now, there's not really that much else to say about this, so let's get to the demo that you guys have been waiting patiently for. So to release the cord, you basically, this has an odd release mechanism, by the way. Basically just pull this back and then rotate the upper handle, and that releases your power cord. And interestingly enough, if you leave this in that position, you could basically use this as a cord hook to basically hold your cord steady. Just kind of nice. So now let's go ahead and unravel the cord. I always like to just run my hand all the way down the cord to make sure it gets no tangles, because that's the last thing you want, is to have the cord tangle up on you and lose a bit of its length when you're vacuuming. Plug it in. And now let's go ahead and turn this thing on and demo it for you guys. To basically release these vacuums into their vacuuming position, just step down on either side and pull on back. Pretty similar to how an Aurec releases. So, as usual, your power switch is up top here. The first position is suction only. Very nice and quiet motor. Definitely has a little bit of a higher tone than the original motor that came in Electrolux uprights and canisters back then. Definitely provides much more suction. So anyway, the second position down is the brush roll. You will notice the brush roll motor sounds a little bit different than past models. That's because they have revised the motor for the brush roll so it's not as loud as before. And also you will notice right down here, you have little indicator lights to let you know when the brush roll is turned on, or you have a jam in the brush roll to which it will shut it off and to save the motor of the brush roll. And you basically just push this little reset button circuit breaker and that'll restart your brush roll. You even have also another indicator up top to let you know that you got a full bag. So very nice futuristic for a vacuum that dates all the way, design that dates all the way back to the 80s. But enough of that, let's go ahead and run this thing. So, suction, brush roll, One thing to love about these L-shaped nozzles is they could do a nice little side swipe to get underneath furniture. I really do like that. It does take some getting used to at times, but once you get comfortable with it, it becomes a very nice tool. about these style of vacuums is that you don't even need to press a pedal again to release it all the way flat. It just lies totally flat to the floor. So definitely has an extra low profile. Very nice quiet sound. I do like the much more quiet brush roll motor on this, but then again, it does kind of take away that little legendary power drill noise that these brush roll motors tend to do, which is not a major deal. It's just a little bit of a higher pitch to deal with. But anyway, before I end the video, let's go ahead and show you what this thing would be like in tool mode. Basically, I'm going to get a little attachment kit that I have since I had my Epic 3500, just to show you that this hose still functions, even in a much newer Aerus Electrolux style vacuum. Basically just connect it in like so. Hook up your little electrical connector, which is a little bit different design than what Aerus uses, but it does work. Basically you just plug it into this little port right down here. So anyway, just connect it on in like so, and now you have suction to your hose. And believe me, the suction is a lot stronger than it was back in past times. The little suction relief valve is kind of tricky to figure out, but that's basically it fully open. Here's it fully closed. So anyway, let's go ahead and get out the attachments. You have 2 extension wands. And this is how long of a reach it has with this hose. Not the longest, but it's respectable. You have right here your crevice tool. You have your combination dusting brush slash upholstery tool. Basically just close these little lips like so, and you basically connect it as a dusting brush. Or basically just pull them out and connect the dusting brush side on it. And now it's your upholstery tool. Little weird feeling, but it definitely does do a good job with this. And lastly, let me go ahead and show you the last tool. And that's this little thing called the sidekick. You can release it. The wand's back in their spot. There we go. So basically how this sidekick does is you simply connect it in like such. Basically, when you line the power connectors in, and it latches in, like this little latch up here, you basically just turn it on. You basically have a motorized brush roll, so you can clean upholstery and carpeted stairs. This is definitely ahead of its time. Especially for the days a lot of department store vacuums are using to this being air driven, which is not as efficient as if it were motorized. As you can see, this example does kind of show its age. Basically, when you're done, just simply pull that latch and pull it straight out. So let's go and shut this thing off. Now we're going to put everything back on the rack. Let's go and pull the hose out. Pull out the little connector. Push this tab closed. Very, very tight fit, this thing. I'll just go ahead and wrap this thing up off camera after we're done here. And again, let's just see if I can shut off the thing. Not the best job, but there we go. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this full video review of the Aerus Lux Guardian 90th Anniversary Edition. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.